Taiwan, I'm Liao with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. APEC finance ministers have agreed to pursue economic growth in a sustainable way. At the meeting in San Francisco, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen called on member states to transition to low-carbon energy and provide more opportunities for the disadvantaged.
APEC members have affirmed a shared interest in pursuing policies that expand the productive capacity of our economies while also achieving outcomes like reducing inequality and protecting the environment.
Meanwhile, Taiwan is reportedly trying to secure a one-on-one meeting with U.S. President Joe Biden at the APEC summit. Wellington Gu, head of Taiwan's National Security Council, said Washington and Taipei are discussing a meeting between Biden and Taiwan's APEC representative, TSMC founder Morris Zhang. Taiwanese reporters were confronted outside a San Francisco hotel booked for Chinese President Xi Jinping. Xi is expected to attend the APEC Leader Summit in the city. The reporters were filming outside the St. Regis Hotel when a man speaking Mandarin with a mainland Chinese accent told them to stop. The hotel has stepped up security ahead of Xi's stay. Xi is expected to meet with U.S. President Biden for one-on-one talks at the APEC summit in the city. Protesters were already gathering outside the venue ahead of his arrival.
The fact that China has millions of people in concentration camps and that the country is a dictatorship.
There are less than 60 days left until Taiwan's presidential election, but what the ballot might look like is still unclear. A new poll shows that an alliance of the two main opposition parties could win, but as John Van Trieste reports, time is running out for the parties to form a joint ticket.
It's another day on the campaign trail for Ko Wen-je, the man who would be Taiwan's first ever president from outside the ruling DPP or main opposition KMT. But there's a special urgency in today's events. Just under 60 days from the election, the latest polls show Ke has a shot at winning, but not without help. The pollsters are assuming what many voters unhappy with the current government are hoping for, that Ke from the Taiwan People's Party teams up with the other main opposition party, the KMT. They find that a joint ticket would win, but if they don't cooperate, the ruling DPP's Lai Ching-te looks set to claim victory. Still, there's no agreement on any possible team-up. The KMT has its own candidate, Ho Yo-i. One will need to drop out of the race and run as vice president for a joint ticket to work. And while both sides have come around to the idea of using a poll to figure out who that should be, they still don't agree on the details of how to conduct it. Ke's decided it's now or never. Ke and the KMT have agreed to meet on Wednesday, but the KMT's chair and its candidate Ho Yo-i are keeping quiet on any details.
还在协商，协商没有中断。国民党已经拿出最大的诚意善意，也希望能够让柯主席能够更积极的加入这样一个团队的行列里面。
All eyes then will be on Wednesday's meeting, with polls showing its success or failure could dictate the election and Taiwan's course for the 4 years to come. Kama Xu and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Now, while the KMT and DPP struggle to form a joint ticket, billionaire Foxconn founder Terry Gou has qualified for Taiwan's presidential election in January. That's the news from the country's Central Election Commission. Gou announced an independent presidential run at the end of August. He needed close to 300,000 signatures to get his name on the ballot. That's because he was not backed by a major political party. Gou's campaign said it submitted around 1 million signatures. The Election Commission said around 87% or some 900,000 of these signatures were valid. A local journalist says she faced repeated harassment and intimidation after reporting a scandal surrounding one of the country's biggest basketball teams. As Rick Liao explains, the case has become a rallying point for people pushing to protect press freedom in the country.
捍卫新闻自由，捍卫新闻自由。
Here at a court in New Taipei, free speech advocates are calling for better protection of journalists. It's the first court hearing in a high-profile case in which a Taiwanese reporter says she faced intimidation and harassment for reporting that one of the country's largest basketball teams was getting funding from China, which is illegal here in Taiwan. She's now suing one of the team's ex-managers and 6 others.
特别恶劣的地方是我们看到了他6次 对于记者以及媒体机构发动这个诉讼，那这诉讼里面每一次 这个球团到最后都败诉，机构都胜诉，记者都胜诉，但是他还是坚持不断的这个发起诉讼。那我们认为这就是一种文明的施压，对于记者的施压。
Taiwan's government often touts the country as a protector of free press and a haven for the region's journalists. But the reporters and press freedom advocates here say the reality for reporters is somewhat different. They're calling out the hypocrisy and saying more needs to be done to protect a free press. Andy Xue and Rick Liao in New Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
A U.S. training program for women entrepreneurs has opened in Taipei, but as Laurel Stewart explains, more needs to be done to achieve gender equality in the workforce.
Rattan baskets, preserved snacks and handmade goods. These are products being sold by female entrepreneurs from around the Indo-Pacific region. They're at the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs Women in Tech Summit, an event to celebrate a training program for female business owners. Women here are networking and sharing ideas.
毕竟在这个商业世界当中，还是大多数是男性，所以说女创之间会交流一些彼此怎么在做公司治理，或是在面对客户关系，或是面对市场关系的时候，我们怎么去平衡跟协调。
The US State Department established the Academy in 2019, with the goal of giving women access to the knowledge and networks needed to start successful businesses. Taipei joined the group in 2021 and has since built a network of female entrepreneurs in the country.
We've provided training and networking opportunities, and 205 women entrepreneurs have graduated from the program.
But despite the event touting Taipei as a beacon for female entrepreneurship in the region, some labour groups say women here still face issues such as sexual harassment in the workforce, which makes them less likely to start their own businesses. And even among those who do, many are left balancing family and work responsibilities.
Besides sexual harassment issues, most women also encounter the difficulty of combining their work and their care responsibilities, because in Taiwan, still many like labors concerning house chores and caring are still considered the responsibility of women, but not men.
They say more awareness about sharing these burdens is needed, and more resources to help look after children and the elderly are essential. So as women celebrate their entrepreneurial successes in Taiwan, it's just the start of a long road to equality in the workforce. Luffy Li and Laurel Stewart for TaiwanPlus.
Workers at Taiwan's government-run zoos are set to get their first pay raise in 3 decades. Eric Liao has details.
Being a zookeeper isn't easy. They have to prepare the animals' meals, clean their enclosures, and give them medicine when they're sick. All that for very little pay. They make a little over $900 a month, and that includes hazard pay.
好像有点太少了，可能大概4万5到5万可能会比较好一点。
现在物价都上涨了，所以3万5基本上都以台北更不行。
Zookeepers here in Taiwan haven't had a pay raise in about 30 years, but that's going to change soon. Starting next year, their hazard pay will go from up to $80 a month to $150.
蛮开心的，因为我们平常除了要照顾他们的生活起居之外，还要一些展场的维护啊，或者是很多一些突发状况，比如说动物的迁移，还是说要搬到某个地方，需要很多的劳力、跟体力、跟精神。
Even with that pay bump, zookeepers will still have a heavy workload. In an ideal situation, they should each be caring for about a dozen animals. But in Kaohsiung's Sosan Zoo, they're responsible for about 20. It may take more than this small pay raise to address this staff shortage and get more people into the field. Joseph Wu and Eric Liao for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Finally today, we leave you with these images of a light show marking the newest towers of Barcelona's Sagrada Familia Basilica. I'm Leslie Liao, take care, and I will see you next time.